My name is Graham Mellor. I'm the owner of Sound Advice LLC, based out of Providence, Rhode Island. Currently on tour with Gov't Mule and Warren Haynes, and recently just come off doing the front of house and production management for the Last Waltz tour, featuring Terrence Higgins, Don Was, Michael McDonald, Taj Mahal, and Dr. John, and Warren Haynes. One of the cool things about mixing with Warren and mixing with Gov't Mule is we run the gamut from some nights we're in smaller venues to some nights we're in amphitheaters, either opening or headlining our own acts. So when you're in a situation like this at the Sanger Theater, we got a really low overhang, and sometimes it's hard to even see the PA. Sometimes it's a luxury to see the PA. So having something like the Sceptre S8 at front of house gives me a chance to solo, delay it to the mains, and actually hear what's going on through an actual speaker rather than through a headphone, and give me a little bit more of a level of comfort. I chose the Sceptre speakers because they were recommended to me by a friend of mine, Dave Gunnis and Rich Frembus, who worked on the design team for them. I got a chance to see the prototypes when they were originally designed. They had a lot of good things to say about them. So I bought a pair. I bought a pair of the S6s, which I currently use at home to listen to music. And I decided to take them on the road, but I thought maybe the S6 would be a little bit small, so I called the PreSonus, and they were nice enough to send me out a pair of S8s to use out on the road. One of the things I really like about the Sceptres is the coax design in it. For years, I never really liked coaxial speakers. There were a lot of speaker manufacturers that developed coaxial drivers that really sounded poorly. They used the paper cone as a waveguide for the horn, for the high energy, which tended to smear the high energy. It ruined the crossover. It just sounded ugly. When I had a chance to hear these speakers in the Sceptres, some of the magic that's going on inside of them in the DSP processor, and the fact that it's got a fixed horn on the front of it and it's not using the paper as the waveguide, really gives you a nice, not only sound, but also it's coming from the same spot. So you don't have to worry about when I'm sitting up or standing down, I'm not hearing more of the horn or more of the driver. I'm hearing everything equally. And to quote a friend of mine, if you can get a speaker to sound equally bad everywhere, then it's easy to fix it. So one of the nice things about the Sceptres and the coaxial design is when you're in the studio, they have a really clear mid-range to them. There are a lot of industry standard monitors that people have been using for a very long time that lack in the low end, that are really full in the mid-range, and really give you an opportunity to get in and decipher what may cover what up in the mid-range. But then you have to go to a different set of drivers in the studio to listen to something with a little bit more low end or kick in a sub, which can or cannot cause its own set of problems depending on the placement and what you're using for a crossover and an amplifier. And then yet again a different set of monitors to hear something in the high end. That can, one, get complicated, and two, sort of get fatiguing. There's a particular set of monitors that are really used to clear up your mid-range, and they're kind of fatiguing to listen to in my experience, and you really have to get used to them. The nice thing about this design and the Sceptres is that when you turn them on, what is coming out of the instrument into your microphone is what's coming out of your monitor. So you get a chance to get through and to dig through the weeds of your mid-range so that you can keep it clear and concise and tight and punchy, but at the same time get an assessment of what buildup in the low end might cause distortion in your mid-range, and crowd that, and do it all on one system. So I'm all about keeping things as simple as possible. As you can see, the front of house setup is just a console, because it's easy repeatability, and the Sceptres give me easy repeatability, not just live but also in the studio.